How is everyone doing today? And in this video, we are going to be talking about our brand new 1.1 character because funny enough, the last drip marketing was for Lucy and Piper, and as we see, they're here in 1.0. But for today, we are actually going to see that Qingyi, I think I'm saying it right, that's the way they said in the story. This is going to be our next character, and we don't know if it's a 4 to 5 star. I'm pretty sure this is a 5 star, especially with looking at how they are in the story. And not only that, well, why would you drip market the 4 star before the 5 star? So today I do want to talk about a couple of things in regards to the drip market and what we need in the game. What's her element, because we kind of already know from the story itself again, and all the things included with the team building she's probably going to have with future units and current movements in the game. So before we get into all that, make sure you leave a like, comment, sub, all the different type of stuff, and let me know how excited you are for the next upcoming characters, because we have Zhuyan, we have Qingyi, and not only that, we have a bunch of different characters that just got released or announced or shown off in that lore trailer, which is actually very exciting to see. A lot of them look very familiar to a lot of other designs in other games for Hoyoverse, so it's actually very exciting to see. But let's go ahead and start talking about Qingyi and what she's going to do. Now, Qingyi is part of the same faction that Zhuyan is in, so that's already really good in the value that she's bringing, because for those that are very excited for Zhuyan, they're in the same faction, which we all know from the core bonus in a lot of the different characters. You either have to match element or faction, and the fact that she matches the faction helps out Zhuyan with the team making that they're about to do. But not only that, besides Zhuyan herself, when it comes to the value that she would bring from her coming out, which is going to be really cool to see, because a lot of these characters coming out have the ability to mess up, or not mess up, but bring some value to a bunch of different teams all at once. It's not usual where the characters in a lot of other Hoyo games, they kind of get conformed to their one team. Either they're supporting one team or a little bit of other teams, or they have their own specific team catered to them. In this game, it's gonna be a little bit more different because of the way we can mix and match and also have bonuses associated with not only the faction but also the element. And the element from which I'm going to tell you, she is going to be a lightning character because that is what she's seen to use in the story. So otherwise, before she probably brings out something like fire or ice, in the story she uses lightning. So she's going to be a lightning police force faction user or faction unit, and that's actually very exciting to see. There's a couple of different things we need to talk about in regards to what she needs to be and what I would want her to be. So what better way than to say that or to show that is by going in the game itself. So going into the game, we do see that we have the lightning team here right now, because right now we don't have Zhuyan, but we do have a mission later on in the story where you get to trial use Zhuyan, and man, is she such a good unit, and I will be covering that as well in the near future. But going on to the lightning team at the current moment, we have a couple of units that will help and a couple of units that we'll probably see them together with the brand new unit. Now, one thing I do want to say is that we already have two really great units that are going to be on standby for Qingyi. One being Rina, which she allows for a quick switch in with her skill. And then also, not only that, we also have Ambi here for the stun as well, or the daze meter, which is going to help us a crap ton when it comes to those two supportive aspects. We have somebody that builds daze and someone that gives pen ratio and also is able to give a quick switch in. So what is the last character that we need when it comes to Qingyi being a lightning unit? We need a brand new DPS for lightning. At the current moment, we only have a couple of lightning characters, which are Ambi, Rina, and then we have Grace, and then Anton. These are the only 4 lightning characters that we have currently in the game. And one of them is Anomaly, one of them is a support, one of them is a Dazer, and the only 4 star, or the only one that is not going to be as competitive with the other DPSs, is going to be Anton. Now, Anton is pretty cool in what he's able to do in regards to keeping constant lightning damage and a prolonged amount of it too. Like, you get a crap ton and a lot of shock as well from this. It's a really good thing to have for Anton. But when it comes to what Qingyi was doing in the story, when it comes to her element, the only thing that makes sense for Qingyi to be is an attack unit or a DPS for the lightning team, because they need that so much more than any of the other units. All the other elements at the current moment have a really nice DPS. Ice is Ellen. For fire is Soldier 11. For physical is Nekomata. For ether we have Zhuyan. And I'm probably forgetting something right now, and it's probably going to blank on me. But for right now, I think every single element currently in the game has a DPS for them. That's a 5 star or a really cracked out one. At the current moment for lightning, they only have Anton as the 4 star. And why do I feel like I am missing a DPS for some reason? But I'm pretty sure every element has their own. Right now, Anton is the only lightning DPS at the current moment, and he has some problems, but he also has some pros as well. Like I said, he gives a crap ton, and I mean a crap ton amount of lightning, which allows him to proc shock a lot onto enemies, and a lot of daze meter too. He's a pretty cool unit with being able to build daze, constant damage, and also giving that attribute anomaly build up as well, which is a really good thing for him. And also even better if you have someone like Grace on the team, which would make that proc even faster. But for the Lightning team at the current moment, especially looking at not only Zhu Yan's team and also for the team of having the Lightning team in itself, they need an attack unit badly, or they need an attack unit more than the other elements or the other roles in the game. We don't need another support because we already have Rena at the current moment. So she's already taken up that spot, and she's already given those boosts for the Lightning team and also the Maid faction team. Ambi, in my honest opinion, is probably a big sleeper for a lot of different people. I think Ambi and Nicole are some really well worth units to invest in, just because of how much they give. When it comes to Nicole giving quick switch and defense reduce, when it comes to Ambi and the crazy amount of days that she's able to give to the enemies, giving really fast chain attacks and really frequent chain attacks. Like, you see the amount of days that she's able to bring to the enemy with one combo. It's absolutely insane when you look at it and how it gets built up. That's literally one string of normals and then a skill, and then we can still add on that lightning bonus at the end, that lightning hit at the end, that gives even more days. So right now, I think Ambi's in a really good spot to stay as the stunner for Lightning. Rena's in the same position where she can stay the support for Lightning as well. But for the damage dealers for Lightning, we don't have that many of, and Anton is not the true answer or the true DPS for the Lightning team. I do think that right now, when it comes to both Zhu Yan's team for the police faction and also for the Lightning team itself, which you're going to be pairing a couple of these units with Qingyi, I do think that having an attack unit instead of any of the other roles for that Lightning unit is going to be the most beneficial to the game and be able to flesh out more teams. I think right now Lightning team, although has really good teammates, I don't think they have the proper DPS to be able to make them work as perfectly as possible like any of the other elements at the current moment with their own premium units at the current moment. I do think Zhu Yan and Qingyi hopefully have some synergy together when it comes to the moveset expansions like Koleda and Ben. But when it comes to the double attack on one team, Qingyi and Zhu Yan, I think that honestly might work in their favor, just because you could have characters like Rena, who's able to be with Qingyi. You're able to have characters like Nicole, who's able to work with Zhu Yan, and then you're able to proc everybody's core passive, which is going to be a really big thing, or their team passive, which is a really big thing for the team. That's the way you want a team build. So you want to make sure everyone links up with each other in some way or another. And that's the main thing you want to look at when it comes to these units like Ambi, Rena, all these other characters for the police faction that we're going to end up seeing in the future. And even more things when it comes to the different elements in the game and the different roles. I am super excited for Qingyi for sure, just because of all that she's probably going to provide for the team and for Zhu Yan as well. I think Zhu Yan at the current moment had a little bit of a problem with their team. She had a really good free-to-play centric core to the team, which is Nicole and Ambi. You got the Dazer and the defense down, and also the slight gather as well, which is going to help a lot in Zhu Yan's case and give everybody their core passive, because they all have their matching elements. You have corruption with corruption, or aether with aether, and then you get it with Zhu Yan and Nicole. You have the lightning for Ambi, which is the Dazer, but she shares a faction with Nicole, so they give all of themselves their team bonus, which is absolutely nice. So other than that, that's pretty much it when it comes to Qingyi. I really like the way I'm able to go in the game and talk about how the teams are and how they probably would play or what they would use. She does use a polearm for the most part, with both ends being part of the weapon. So she looks like she's going to be a really cool unit to look at in regards to what she's able to do. But like I said, I really like the way this is, with being able to talk about these characters in game and also give an explanation. Really cool way to talk about these new drip marketed characters, in my honest opinion. I'm definitely going to be trying this a lot more. But other than that, thank you guys so much for watching all the way to the end of the video. See y'all guys in the next one, and peace.